But I find with doing these things, when we're meeting somebody else in need, the more difficult for us, the better. The more uncomfortable, the more disagreeable, the more against our will when we're helping somebody else. When there's nothing in it for us besides helping the person out. It's kind of like when I'll counsel young couples on finances or something. You know, there's nothing I could potentially get out of it besides just helping them, and it might do something to help firm up their family and keep their soul closer to God and out of the hands of the devil. The shape we're in right now in our society is not good, obviously. Like I say, pagan, barbarian. And it's our fault. The society is in a shape it's in because of negligent Catholics. And I'm not talking about the priests and the bishops or the Pope. I'm talking about us. You see, we have bought into these lies about being compassionate, false compassion, about what it means to be nice, about having some kind of false charity. And we are peacefully coexisting with evil that's going on all around us. We don't say anything when scandal comes up, presents itself. We shy away from it. We don't want to be the fanatic. You know, we'll have somebody that, if we might say something and say, oh, that might work for you, but that's just your opinion, that's your way of doing things. We have got to toughen up. If we're in battle, you can't have softies going to battle. We got to toughen up. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Toughness. We have got to prepare to be rejected. Not that we need to go instigate or aggravate on purpose, but just developing that mental toughness of regardless of possibly being rejected, that we are going to say in a sincerely charitable way, but confident way, what needs to be said when it needs to be said. How do we develop that kind of toughness? Mortifications. Real basic examples of those might be taking cold showers, sleeping on the floor, late night holy hours, or getting up early. All these things that shun our own pleasure or comfort and things of that nature. Fasting. Some of you guys that work out in the heat, a double whammy there. You are fulfilling your obligation from the Garden of Eden, where God said, because of what you've done, you will work by the sweat of your brow to provide for your family. So you are participating in your redemption right there, as well as building up toughness. Now, I tried a little bit of that last few weekends. Get out there in that 100, 110 degree heat index. That's tough. That'll build some toughness. Like to go in the weight room pretty regularly and work out. That's pain. I mean pain. It's just, it doesn't make any sense aside from building character. What we're looking is to build character, fortitude for when the times get tough. You know, if we're going to get POWs and we go to the gates and tell Lucifer, I'm here to get Jimmy. No, Jimmy, come on in. He's right over here. You can go on and get. No. It's not going to be that way. There's going to be a fight. All sorts of obstacles. And we have got to have fortitude to push beyond that, to like a battering ram, to blow through the gates and go get them. You know, we've talked a number of times about this being a job of sales. You know, if we're going to go out and influence somebody, we got to know our product. We got to know what we're selling. We have to be fluent in the faith. You know, it's a study of one thing. We might know the facts and be able to quote something, but for it to be part of our fiber, to where they know it's coming from the heart, and to where we could just explain it. And that only comes by doing it. By doing it. You know, kind of like Jim Rohn said, you know, if you ask enough people and you do it enough times, you get one. You talk to 10, get one. Talk to 10, get one. Talk to 10, get two. You know, and you got to start somewhere. You know, like he says, you might start with saying, "Well, you wouldn't want to buy something, would you?" And that's a place to start. And it's it gets a little cumbersome, but it's a place to start. And then we start talking to more people and talking to more people and talking to more people. And we refine our pitch. Yeah, but let's say you're wanting to promote promote your pastime to somebody. I might say, I think more people ought to be interested in running. So what would I go up to them and say? "You lazy bum! You don't know how fun running is and how good it is for you? Why don't you run?" You know, how far would that get you? How convincing would that be? You know, by degrading or intimidating somebody. And when we do that, I think it shows a lack of confidence in what we really believe. If we feel like we have to intimidate or overpower somebody with what it is we have, instead of really inviting them in to what it is that we believe in, tell them of the goodness of it and what it could do for them. In doing that, we should have some confidence. We should really believe in what we're saying, be real comfortable to be able to explain it. Just be fluent. Just be able to just rattle it off. And listen. Paul Fox. I remember listening to Paul Fox and saying, he's just soaked with the faith, with Catholicism. It just comes through his words, just rolls off his tongue. You know, and this book I'm reading about this, about focusing, about having a very distinct focus. He also talks about imagery, or about what's the word? Whenever you play through it in your mind. Think about things of situations that could potentially come up, and you almost role play in your mind of how I would address this with this particular person or anybody that you may come up with. Think about it and how I would answer that. You know, and like I said, you know, to be condescending or degrading is usually not effective. But we have to be quick. That's why the mind is the thing to use. We have to be quick on our feet with our mind. That's why I was intrigued with what Jeremy said the other day, you know, about how somebody was being critical of the meeting, and it was real clever the way he answered that, you know, answering the guy back. That's quick. That's quick, you know, but it was lighthearted, and it wasn't a necessary thing of getting in an argument or anything. We're in a fight. Christendom is gone. We're in the post-Christian era. Morality is rejected in our society. Just look at the laws that we're passing, the laws that are getting on the books today. Abortion is legal, becoming more and more prevalent around the world. Homosexual marriages, sorry, I didn't use that term. Homosexual unions are permitted in 6 states now, I believe, and the good old Washington, D.C. And as far as where the momentum is going here, it's not getting better. And when we start hearing things of, oh, you know, this is improving, or that it's almost this Pollyanna type of outlook. What does that do when we hear that? We say, oh, we got plenty of good young priests. We got a few good young priests coming out, a few. And when we start hearing that, we start to what? Let down. So say, oh, they got it. And we start to let up. We can't do it. And like I said, it's our fault. We are the ones that are responsible for this. You know, practicing our faith the way we do, if you haven't picked up on it yet, haven't experienced yet, we're already ostracized, even by those in our own faith. And this is not to be gloom and doom to say, oh, everything's terrible. This is our time. This is when God has placed us upon the earth with these things going on around us. That's reality. That's the way it is. And we often hear that during these times in the history of the church, God has raised up great saints. What happens to those saints if we read the history books? They lose their lives. They are persecuted, even physically. They are martyred. Character, fortitude is what it takes to be willing to give our lives for this. This very well, I can't say predict or say that I'm a prophet. This is the direction we're heading. Who knows how many generations away it is? But again, throughout history, it's been the state that has come down on the church and eliminated it. If we are going to put up that fight, again, we got to toughen up. It's our time to shine, as we're going to hear those candidates say this weekend. I am the light of the world. Let my light shine. God bless you.
God bless you.